Hello, Grand Park community. Welcome to your Yoga Ala retreat. Thank you to Grand Park for hosting us so we can practice mindfulness, movement, breath together. So today, I'd like us to work with an affirmation, be here now. So in its simplest form, the message that I receive from the Yoga Sutras is to be present, to be engaged with truth, to be in the moment as it is, to tap into our humanity. And I find that the greatest way to do that is to really try to remember to be in the moment. So an affirmation is helpful to keep us focused, to give our mind one-pointed focus. So in yoga philosophy, we call this dharana. So when we focus our mind on one thing, it helps to give us the opportunity to go into a state of meditation, to go into a state of what's going on. So let's just rest our palms down on the thighs. You can do this part sitting in a chair or on the floor, wherever you're most comfortable in your body today. Let's settle our shoulders down away from the ears, soften the eyes closed. Allow your jaw to rest. And allow yourself to come into the space of your breath. So just noticing your breath, maybe noticing where it is causing movement in your body. Maybe noticing how it affects the way that you feel when you focus on your breath. So in my experience, focusing on the breath is like an instant moment reminder. So when I focus on my breath, I become aware of my body. I become aware of the moment. Maybe starting to deepen the breath slightly. So taking a little bit of control over the way that you are choosing to breathe. And then just hearing the phrase, be here now. Or maybe we should simplify it to here now. So giving yourself the space of this class together to be here in your breath, in your body, in this shared virtual space together. On our inhales, we're going to say the word here. On our exhales in our mind, we're going to say the word now. So inhale here. Exhale now. Inhale here. Exhale now. Inhale here. Exhale now. Inhale here. Exhale now. And then maybe letting that phrase fall away, but staying engaged in the presence of the here and the now. So drawing our hands over our hearts, bowing into our intention today to be here, to be now. Yoga is a practice of the now. So the first Yoga Sutra says, and now begins the practice of yoga. So yoga is something that is always happening when we engage in the now. So shall we be in the now, in the here, as we practice moving and breathing together? What do you say? All right, let's start standing today. So finding yourself in a stand, taking your feet underneath your hips underneath your shoulders, palms come out to the sides. Let's spread our toes really wide here. And then setting your toes down so you have a nice wide foundation with the feet ground down into the balls of the feet, the heels underneath your pinky toes, shoulders away from your ears, palms active, heart reaching forward. So standing in yourself here and now. Maybe acknowledging how you are today, how you're going to take care of yourself today, allowing the breath to come into the space of your body. And we'll start to breathe and move together as a way to be here now in space together. So let your exhale come out. As you inhale, draw your arms tall to the sky. As you exhale, fold your body in half, let your head go. Inhale, hands to shins, flat back, halfway lift. Exhale, forward fold, release your head. Inhale, draw your arms tall to the sky. Exhale, hands come to heart on your exhale. We'll do that a couple more times. Inhale, rise your arms tall. Exhale, fold your body in half, let your head go. Inhale, halfway lift, flat back. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, draw your arms tall to the sky. Exhale, hands to your heart. One more time. Inhale, rise it up, arms reach tall. Exhale, melt your heart forward, release your head. Inhale, halfway lift, flat back. Exhale, forward fold, release your head. Inhale, draw your arms tall to the sky. We'll stay with our arms tall. Let your exhale come out of the body. And then we'll ground down into the right heel. Grab your right wrist with your left hand. And then as you inhale, reaching up and over to the left. So being in the here and the now of the right side body. Shoulders go away from your ears. Breath moves in. Inhale back to center, ground down into your left foot, grab your left wrist with your right hand, and then from the stability of your left heel, reach up and over to the right, breathing into your left side body. Maybe allowing each breath an opportunity to connect with your body. Coming back to center on your inhale, and then from our exhale, draw your hands into your heart. We're gonna sink the hips back. First chair pose, so inhale into the seat of your chair. So this is a pose that always brings me into the here and the now because I don't like it, because it's a tough pose to be in my thighs in, but see, maybe if we can turn that around by using strength as a way and an invitation into presence, to breathe with it, to be with it. As you exhale, fold your heart, release your head. Inhale, halfway lift, flat back. Let's take our hands down to the earth, finding your way to a plank. So another pose that really invites us into presence. So if plank is too much on your body to have your knees up, you can tap your knees down. So find a way to be in the pose, a way to be in your breath, a way to stay present and engaged. So pressing into your knuckles, lifting up out of your shoulder, head in line with your spine, belly scoops into your spine. And then as we exhale, hips come up and back, downward facing dog. Looking towards your hands, step your right foot for your right hand, back foot spins flat to a 45 degree. Right knee is stacked over your right ankle, arms come to the side like wings. So reach from your heart, press down into the outer edge of your back foot. And then from the stability of your feet, rise yourself up, warrior one. Right hip reaching back, right thigh sinking down. Notice what's happening in the shoulders. Maybe send the shoulders away from your ears. Gazing on a single point. Steady gaze, steady breath. Be here now, in this shape, filling in the breath. As you exhale, hands go down to the earth. Find your way back to plank. Downward facing dog. Other side. So we'll step the left foot for the left hand. Back foot spins flat to a 45 degree. Left knee is stacked over left ankle. Arms come to the side like wings. Heart reaches forward towards the top of your space. Ground down into your feet. Press especially into the outer edge of your back foot. From that stability, rise yourself up to a warrior one. Left hip reaches back. Steady your gaze on a single point. Active hands, jaw soft, shoulders soft. Be here now in the shape. As you exhale, hands go down to earth. Step your left foot back. Plank to your downward facing dog. Let's pause here, let your head go. If down dog doesn't feel right in your body, you can always tap your knees down, knees wider than hips, big toes come together to touch for child's pose. If you are in your down dog, press the weight forward into the knuckles, armpits hug in, heart melts back for the thighs, hips are reaching skyward, heels are reaching towards earth. Let your head go, so we don't need to hold the neck up. And then from here, let's tap our knees down on the earth. Really nice. So we're going to come into a few cat-cows, so knees underneath the hips, wrists underneath the shoulders, fingers spread wide, press into your knuckles. As you inhale, belly drops, heart rises. As you exhale, curl in your spine. As you inhale, belly drops, heart rises. As you exhale, curl in your spine. 2 more times, just like that, connecting breath and movement. Inhale, be. Exhale, here and the now. Inhale, belly drops, heart rises. Exhale, curl in your spine. Allow your spine to be neutral. Let's tuck our toes here. And we're just going to get into the feet a little bit. So the feet carry us around all day. We don't give them, at least I don't give them a whole lot of love. So we're going to give the feet some love here. So with the toes tucked, this might be enough. So this is a big foot stretch. So you are totally welcome to stay here if this is enough stretch for your feet. If you'd like to see if maybe there's a little bit more space or a little bit more opening, you can walk your hands back and maybe sit up on your heels. So that is not a requirement for the pose. That's only if it helps to bring you into the shape in a place where you can breathe and soften open your feet. If that's not the pose for you, come forward to hands and knees. And we'll just take a few breaths here into our beautiful tootsies. Remembering to be here now, engaged in this moment together. How beautiful to be here practicing yoga together. And then if you are on your feet, walking yourself back to your hands. Take your hands 1 print farther away from your shoulders, and then we'll send the hips up and back, downward facing dog. So here, let's pedal out the feet just to see what's going on in the back body today. So bending one knee, maybe flattening opposite foot, rising up, and then bending opposite knee, flattening opposite foot. You can also shake your head yes and no a few times to release in the back of your neck. anything you want to do here in your downward facing dog. So if you're still moving around, finding yourself into stillness, and then we're going to start on the left foot. So notice if you floated off somewhere. Remember, we're here and now today. So mindfully stepping your left foot in between your hands, back foot spins flat. We'll come up to warrior two. So big sink of the left hip, reaching your fingertips out from your shoulders, heel to arch alignment with the feet. And then in the here and the now, I'd like you to ask yourself what's going on in the shoulders. So if the shoulders feel like they're coming away from the ears and they're soft, stay here. If the shoulders are really tight, maybe soften the shoulders by taking the palms up. That'll send the shoulder blades down and in together. And then we're gazing over our left palm. We're gonna come into breath and movement here. So this will be our exhale. As we inhale, lengthen your left leg, draw your arms tall to the sky. And then exhale, warrior two. 2 more times, breath and movement. Inhale, extend. Exhale, warrior two. Inhale, extend. Exhale, warrior two. Let's extend the left leg. Take your left toes in. We're gonna come to the back of this space. So we're just switching the direction of our feet. So we're coming into warrior two on the right. So you might be facing the back of your space. Heel to arch alignment with the feet, reaching your fingertips out. And then the same thing as on the other side. So if the shoulders are feeling open and relaxed today, you're welcome to stay here. Or maybe flipping the palms up. And that's always an option in practice. In my class, in any class, if the shoulders are feeling particularly sticky, you can always do the palms up variation. So from here, we'll connect some breath with movement on this side. This will be our exhale. As you inhale, lengthen right leg, reach your fingertips tall to sky. Exhale, warrior two. Inhale, lengthen, extend. Exhale, warrior two. Inhale, lengthen, extend. Exhale, warrior two. And then we'll go ahead, extend that right leg straight. Take both your toes in, heels go out. So we're in a big wide-legged straddle. We'll keep some buoyancy in our knees. Hands come to the hips to start. Lift up in your heart, little baby back bend. And then as you exhale, melt your heart forward. Option to keep your hands on your hips, or if it's accessible, you can take your hands down to the floor. You can put something underneath your hands if you can't quite reach, or you could grab opposite elbows. We're pressing slightly into the outer edges of our feet. Remember not to lock in your knees, to keep a little bit of bend in your knees. Definitely release your head. And then see if you can come to the here and the now of this shape. So what does it feel like in your body? Maybe where there might be resistance or opening happening. Allow your breath to fill in. Let's take our hands to the hips, press down into your feet. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, press yourself all the way up to stand. We'll heel to the feet, closer together. Finding your way to mountain pose. So let's rest our hands over the heart here, closing your eyes. Feel your feet underneath you. Feel your breath moving through you. Maybe feeling a slight elevation of your heartbeat. Maybe feeling what it feels like to be alive right now, in your body, in this moment together. Opening your eyes if they're shut. We're going to come to tree pose, which is, in my experience, the greatest here and now pose. So it's a balanced pose. It really makes us be in our breath. It really makes us be in our focus. So if you practice this pose a lot and you know you would like to come to a wall can be a really helpful thing for balance. Or you can come in the middle of your space. So we'll start on the left leg today. So hands come to your hips. Maybe lift your toes up. Find that grounding in your feet. So pressing into the balls of the feet, underneath your pinky mounds and your heels. And then start to activate your left thigh, like you are slightly pressing it back so that the left leg gets super strong and stable here. So left hand can come to a wall, or keeping your left hand at your hip, right foot comes in like a kickstand. Establish your gaze point. So find a focal point at eye distance or eye level, or maybe a little higher or above eye level. Keep grounding down into your left foot. Right knee is tracking out. Shoulders come away. Gaze is steady. Breath is flowing in and out. And then this might be your pose today, or maybe your left hand is at a wall. If you're feeling pretty balanced and good today in this shape, you might take your foot to the calf, or you might take your foot to the inner thigh. So not on the knee. We don't ever want to press on joints. If you have your leg on the foot, or your foot on the leg, press the leg into the foot, everything hugging in. Left foot grounding down, left thigh pressing back, gaze is steady at our point. And then find your way into your breath. If it's gotten away from you, here now in this shape. This is all we're doing. We're standing on a leg. We're honoring what's true in this pose today. And we're supporting ourselves in that truth by either adding breath, adding a hand to a wall, maybe even pushing ourselves into a deeper version if that feels like it invites us into presence, into trying something new. And then from here, growing your branches. So whatever that looks like to you, you could grow your branches in your mind. You could keep your hands at your heart. You could grow your branches tall to the sky. Notice what's happening in the shoulders and the breath, and make any adjustments to support your pose. Take one more big, beautiful breath wherever you are. And then we'll exhale out of this side. So grounding down into your right foot, you can maybe shake out that left leg. So my left thigh is burning, my left calf, my left ankle. So switching to the other side. And the thing I love about having two sides is that it's a new opportunity. So yoga always teaches me that I have a new opportunity to approach things in a different way if the way that I'm approaching them isn't in alignment with my heart, isn't in alignment with being kind to others. So new side, new opportunity. Hands come to the hips to start. Maybe spread your right toes wide. Set your right foot down. Again, if you want to use a wall, you could take your right hand to a wall here. Press down into the ball of your right foot. So underneath your pinky mound, your big toe and your heel. The right thigh gets active and slightly pushes back. Find your gaze point, your drishti. And then we'll take that left foot in like a kickstand at the right ankle. And we'll come into the space of the here and the now. Finding it with our breath, finding it with our focus, finding it by honoring our body, maybe taking that right hand to a wall. So So right foot is rooted down, right thigh is pressing back. Find your version of tree on this side. So maybe the foot comes to the calf or the inner thigh. It does not have to be what you did on the other side. If you are putting the foot on the inner thigh or the calf, pressing the leg as much into the foot as you're pressing the foot into the leg. So that will help with balance when we focus everything hugging in, when we steady our gaze on the point, when we notice our breath, maybe even when we find humor in something when it's not working. So that keeps us, right, humble and human, when we're able to laugh at ourselves, when we're able to fall out and get back up. So that is the truth. That is the yoga. Maybe growing your branches or resting your hands over your heart. Keep grounding down into your stable leg and foot. Maybe turning at the corners of your mouth for extra credit to lighten the pose. And then releasing your left foot down to mountain pose. So maybe shaking out your right leg if you need to. Let's just do a quick thing for the shoulders. So let's do a few shoulder rolls. So taking your shoulders up by your ears, sending them down away from your ears, making circles. So they can be big circles, little circles. Listen to your own body right now and what feels good to you. And then we'll switch the direction the other way. So shoulders come forward and around and down. And then we're gonna meet in a comfortable seat. So we're gonna get into the neck a little bit here. So you could do this part seated in a chair, or you could come back down to the ground, maybe sitting up on something like a pillow or a bolster or a book or something to raise your hips. So let's bow the chin into the chest, releasing the back of our neck. Keep your shoulders away from your ears. And just allow your head to be heavy. So allow gravity to do the stretch here. And we're really going to meet any tension in our neck with our breath. So instead of resisting the stretch, can you invite the stretch with your breath? And if not, maybe you need to come out of it a little bit. Left ear goes to left shoulder. So allowing the right side of your neck to soften open any amount. So you have the option to keep your hands resting in your lap. If you need more stretch, you can walk your right fingertips out to the right. That will create a longer line of energy for more stretch, but only if you need it. So there's no need to push anything or make anything so that we can't breathe. So in yoga, we want to find a position where we can breathe, where we can be with it. Chin goes back into the chest, and then right ear goes to the right shoulder. Let's check out what's happening in the left side of the neck today. Option to stay here, or maybe you walk your left fingertips out to create that longer line of energy. And remember, anything I say in our time together is just a suggestion. So you are your greatest teacher. So see if you can really listen to what is true for you now and in your body now, not yesterday or what you think it should be, but now. From here, release your hands back to your lap. And then we're just going to make no movements. So really slow, no movements. Maybe you pause each time you make a no to stretch out the side of your neck. And then we're going to make yes motions. So head, chin goes up, and then chin goes into chest, releasing the back of the neck. So at your own pace, finding a movement that works for you right now. Beautiful. So we're going to find our way to legs up the wall or legs up something. This pose is such a great pose in my experience to really draw me into the space of here and now. I love to do this pose at the end of the day or when I need a little break from my workday. So if those of you who do this pose a lot with me, get on into it. Those of you who are new, welcome. We're here every Wednesday, Friday, 12:15 to 1. And so we're gonna do legs up something. So I'm using a closet door just because it's a really nice option because there's nothing on the door. There's no one coming through the door. You could also use, you can get creative in your space. You could use a cabinet as long as something's not gonna fall. You can use a free wall space if you have a free wall space. So whatever you're using, I'm going to use the word wall, and that will be universal for whatever we're each individually putting our legs up. So tuck yourself close into the wall. So you want a hip touching the wall, you want a shoulder touching the wall, and then you'll slink yourself back down on your elbows, maintaining that closeness to the wall. So it's really important here to have the hip and the shoulder close into the wall so we have to do less work later. So we're nice and snug into the wall. And then in a fancy move, we're gonna slide the legs up so that we're in an L pose at the wall. So the heels are over your hips and your bum is pretty close to the wall. And if that's not happening, instead of kind of shimmying your way in, come back down to tuck your hip and your shoulder into the wall. That will prevent that kind of injury in the back from happening if we shimmy. So from here, we'll keep softness in the knees. It might feel comfortable to take your arms wide out like a T, or you could rest your hands somewhere on your body. So just kind of listen to what helps you feel present, what helps you feel into the here and the now. So maybe resting the hands on the body helps remind you of your physical form, or maybe arms wide just makes you feel like you can take a breath and a break here. And then we'll soften the eyes closed here. Find space around your neck by settling your shoulders down, maybe walking them physically down away from your ears. And then we're going to focus on what this pose feels like in the body today. So as a way to draw us here and now. And I always experience, and my students usually report, that there's a feeling of tingling in the legs, that there's a feeling of maybe some rushing down the legs like a waterfall. So see what it feels like to you. And if at any point it's too much sensation and it feels weird and like something is not quite right, you can always bend your knees and rest the soles of the feet against the door or the wall. And then you can rejoin the group when you feel ready. So let's soften our eyes closed here. And see if for today's version of legs up the wall, instead of kind of drifting off into like a dream state, see if you can stay engaged and present in your relaxation. So we're going to be here a couple minutes. I'll call us back after I am quiet for a couple minutes. See if you can stay in the here and the now of this restorative pose. Just a reminder, if you've drifted off, to see if you can stay present in these last 30 seconds of just witnessing your body receiving the benefits of a restorative pose. From here, bending your knees, resting the soles of the feet against the wall. We're going to come into our last stretch at the wall today. So you're going to press your feet against the wall to move back slightly from the wall. So it's just to create a little more space. We're going to slide the left leg back up the wall, take the right ankle across the left thigh, and then bend in your left knee, sliding your foot down any amount that gets you into your right hip. So the more that the heel is in line with the knee, the deeper the stretch will be. So be in the here and the now of the pose. So if you need less today, maybe slide the foot up. If you need kind of like halfway in between, be halfway in between. So we'll just take 3 breaths together on this side. So letting your exhale come out. Through your nose, breathe in. Through your nose, breathe out. Through your nose, breathe in. Through your nose, breathe out. Through your nose, breathe in. Through your nose, breathe out. And then we'll replace the right foot to the wall. Slide your right foot all the way up the wall. Bend your left knee, left ankle goes across the right thigh. And then we'll start to bend in the right knee any amount. So remember, the closer the foot is towards knee height, the deeper the stretch will be for the left hip. So maybe keeping your leg up the wall, really honoring what's happening now in the thigh. Let your exhale come out. Through your nose, inhale. Through your nose, exhale 1. Through your nose, inhale. Through your nose, exhale 2. Through your nose, inhale. Through your nose, exhale 3. And then releasing your foot back to the wall. We'll make our way over to one side, making a little pillow for the head with the inner arm. Take a full cycle of breath here. And then pressing into your free hand, lift yourself up. And then I invite you to find a comfortable position on your back. So we're just gonna finish up our practice today with a short relaxation exercise, and then we will take a minute of rest. So maybe laying flat on your back, maybe bending your knees, resting the soles of your feet underneath your knees if that's more comfortable in your body. Let your exhale come all the way out. Through your nose, inhale. Through your nose, exhale 1. Through your nose, inhale. Through your nose, exhale 2. Through your nose, inhale. Through your nose, exhale 3. Through your nose, inhale. Through your nose, exhale 4. Through your nose, inhale. Through your nose, exhale 5. And then just allowing your breath to come back into your body. Really allowing whatever is touching down to touch down. So not holding anything up, allowing everything to release down. We'll come into a minute of rest here together. So softening your eyes closed and just giving yourself the space of this minute to be here now. Starting to bring awareness back to your breath. Allowing that to be an invitation into the here and the now. Starting to find any gentle wiggles of your fingers and your toes. Maybe finding a full body stretch with your arms up overhead. Rolling yourself over to your side, making a little shelf with your inner arm for your head. Pressing yourself up to a comfortable seat. Resting your palms down on your thighs, settle your eyes closed, settle your shoulders away from your ears. And just feeling into the now of your body. Feeling now into the space of your breath. And at any point today or tomorrow, if you notice yourself in a past thought, or a future worry, maybe notice, maybe say here now and draw yourself back to the space of the present. Thank you all so much for being here with me today. I'm so grateful. I love being able to practice and offer this through Grand Park. Have a beautiful rest of your day, and I'll see you again very soon.